Overflows.
Possibility of interdependence. Before one begins to relate with the other or another person, the first and foremost requirement is how to relate with oneself. And what and why is this requirement necessary? Total freedom and oneness with yourself is the secret of relating. No one knows how to relate with oneself, and instead of learning the art of relating with yourself first, psychology begins with techniques of how to relate with another person. Psychology has failed here. How to relate with oneself is the psychology of the awakened one. Ask yourself, are you totally free, honest, and open to yourself? Ask yourself, are you totally free, honest, and open to yourself? Are you totally one with yourself? Without this, there is no possibility to relate for harmony and oneness with the other. You have to learn how to relate to yourself with ultimate freedom first. Only then you can relate to another person. Psychology begins theoretically the process of relating with other or another person and overlooks the secret of relating with oneself. Relating must begin with oneself first. Unless this begins, all effort to relate with the other will prove futile. I can only give you certain hints now. There are three possibilities of relationships: independent, dependent, and interdependence are three possibilities to relate. Let me explain the third possibility first: interdependence. This happens very rarely, but whenever this happens, a part of paradise falls on earth. Two persons, neither independent nor dependent, but in a tremendous synchronicity, as if breathing for each other. One soul, two bodies. Whenever that happens, love has happened. The flowers of love have blossomed. Beauty has blossomed. Only call this love. The other two are not really love. They are just arrangements, social, psychological, biological, but arrangements only. The third is something spiritual, indeed. Watching two birds fly, intimate with each other and with the wind. Two things when you are flying, two birds. They are intimate with one another and they are intimate with the wind, the surrounding environment. So easy and without strife, in perfect harmony, creates jealousy. When two people, the way I explain, interact with one another as if that every moment they are moving in total intimate harmony with one another. The outside wind that will help them to fly, the circumstances and situations, they are helping them to grow in togetherness. One supports the other. This intimacy between the two becomes the life force for each one of them. But birds are not aware. They have no consciousness. They exist below consciousness. Their harmony looks like harmony to you, but not to them. It is natural for them. And their joy on the wing is your interpretation, not theirs. Remember this, it is your interpretation. They cannot interpret. They have not yet evolved that consciousness which can interpret, which can look back, which can look forward, which can observe and look into things. Their behavior is mechanical. Man is a higher being. Man has the capacity to be conscious, and with consciousness, trouble begins. The higher you move, the more dangerous becomes each step. If you fall, you will be falling from such a height that you will disappear somewhere in the valley. In the valley, you can walk unconsciously. There is no fear. But when you are moving towards the top of the consciousness, reaching to the peak, you will have to be more and more conscious. This is why my focus is, first you have to learn the art of being conscious every moment, during every circumstance and situation. Man is close to God. The more you learn to be conscious moment to moment, the more you will find it will be easier for you to wade through any circumstance and situation. Man is close to God, hence the responsibility, the danger, the hazard, the adventure is there. You can fall. And what is the fall? Because you are capable of being conscious, there are two possibilities. You can become self-conscious. That is the fall. If the self overpowers your consciousness, you have fallen. If consciousness does not allow the self to overpower it, you are simply conscious and there is no self in it. A consciousness without center, a consciousness without anybody being there to be conscious, just pure consciousness. Then you are rising and rising and rising, and the climax is not far away. In a situation like this, how this can be practically applied on a day-to-day basis. You are making an effort for something, maybe looking for a job. So you are guided by your innerness, you apply for a job and you get it. So it is something like this. There was an energy as consciousness guiding you and working through you. You were simply the outer instrument. Both were necessary. This energy or consciousness was guiding you to move forward and take every step. If you think that it has happened only because of your effort, then it is yourself is getting over. You are empowering the self. If you realize that it is because of that current that has flowed, but you have cleared the terminals within you, just like the battery poles. the terminals are free of any kind of disruption, energy flows properly. This much is your effort. You have simply allowed the energy to flow through you, and because of that, whatever you had done or whatever you have achieved has happened. There is no center. You are simply conscious. You have not allowed the self to overpower it, and you simply are conscious, and there is no self in it. A consciousness is without center, a consciousness without anybody being there conscious. Then you are rising and rising and rising, and the climax is not far away. Maybe few steps more, and you will have arrived home. Then you will know what harmony is, and you will know the eternal harmony of the existence, the silence that has never been broken. You move from the being beginningless beginnings to endless end. It continues the same. Then you will know the virgin purity of the existence, which has never been polluted. What can poor bird and animal know of it? Remember, sometimes watching birds in flight creates great jealousy. Two birds on the wing, in such harmony, in such love and intimacy, not only between themselves, but with the wind, with the sun, with the rain. Seeing this, man starts feeling, why can't I be so happy? Why can I not relate with such beauty? Why I can't enjoy the wind and the rain and the sun so in such a relaxed manner? If not, it is not because you are lower than the birds. It is because you are higher than the birds, and as far as consciousness is concerned, therefore, much more is required of you. It is because you are higher that God's criteria for you is higher as well. Yes, a drunkard looks lost without any anxiety, without any worry, and Buddha also looks without any worry, without any anxiety. Buddha also looks drunk. But do you think they exist on the same plane? The drunkard has fallen from consciousness, and the Buddha has risen from the self. The drunkard has fallen from the level of consciousness, and Buddha has risen from the self. Certainly there is a vast difference between a drunkard and a Buddha. A drunkard has fallen below mind, while Buddha is beyond mind. Enough for now.